What's up, Capricorn? How are you all doing? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with you guys in the second week of August. And my apologies, I normally like to have these done before the week, like by Sunday at the latest. But this has been one hell of a rough last week of Mercury fucking retrograde. So things came up, life got in the way, and I wasn't able to squeeze it all in. But here we are, so let's get to this. For those of you who need to find out how to schedule a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com, or you can just check the description of the video. There's a link to my website right down here. So let's jump into this. Let's see what we can tell you about the situation you're dealing with and the person you're dealing with. Remember, weekly check-ins are just a short, sweet, general, energetic overview. What can we tell Capricorn universe? Woo, Page of Cups. Let's get 3 shuffles. There's 1, 2, and 3. Uh-oh, devil card. Uh-oh, okay. Man, what is all the back and forth energy? If there's one thing that gives me a migraine when I'm doing a reading, it's back and forth energy. Shit gives me a migraine, dude. Page of Cups upright, Knight of Cups reversed. 2 of Cups upright, Knight of Swords reversed. Ace of Pentacles upright, Ace of Wands reversed. It's like 2 cars with their rear bumpers tied together driving in opposite directions. This is kind of telling me that I feel like a love offer is probably on the horizon, right? However, the exact same energy is being brought to the table that was brought to the table last time. So, when the same vibration is brought to the table, it loops around and repeats the same outcome. So, some of you might end up experiencing a repeat cycle with this person. And usually, when somebody comes back, it's because they couldn't replace you, right? Most of the time, not all the time, there's exceptions to everything, but generally speaking, the majority of the time, when somebody makes their way back into your life, it's because the person they thought was going to be better than you turned out to not be better than you. Because their little journey and their little venture to find someone better than you, they thought it would be so easy. Oh, you're just the worst person in the world. I could easily find somebody better than you, and it turned out not to be so. Or just for whatever reason, they just feel like their options dried up, you know? Maybe they just couldn't fucking meet nobody. Maybe they thought they was going to be able to get out there and play around and play the field, and it turned out to not be that easy. I don't know, but I do feel like they haven't really had very much success in their love life. Not at all. And not only that, but energetically, vibrationally, emotionally, they haven't changed a damn bit. They probably still got the same shit stains on their undies that they had when they walked away from you. So they just bringing the exact same ass energy back to the table. And I think you know this too, don't you? You know this because your guard is 10 miles high. So this kind of feels more like a warning than anything. Okay. Could be a Cancer for some of you. Could be a fellow Capricorn. Yeah, okay. Knight of Wands, yeah, very brief. This looks like it could be a very brief Start and stop. Start quick, end quick, you know. Plane takes off and then goes. Let's see this person's intentions. Maybe they're not coming from a bad place. Maybe they do mean well. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. What's this person's intentions at the deepest level? Are they willingly, knowingly trying to play games? Or are they just so lost, broken, and fucking confused that they don't know what the hell they're doing? What's this person's deepest feelings and intentions? Person Capricorn dealing with. Emotional codependency. They're lonely. They don't want to be alone. They don't want to be alone. They just want to be in a relationship with some fucking body. Yeah, that'll do it every time. Yup, every time that'll do it. So, do they have bad intentions? I don't think so. I don't think that they're knowingly doing bad. I don't think so. I think this individual is just at war with themselves. And I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of people out there in the dating world today trying to find a relationship for that very reason. I'm at war with myself. I can't sit with myself. I need somebody. Somebody, anybody. I don't care who. I just need a faceless, nameless somebody to come be with me as soon as possible to distract me from myself. Is the short version. In a nutshell, the condensed version. So, yeah. They're at war with themselves. This person probably, honestly, hasn't healed from anything that has ever happened to them. Now, that's sad when you see that. Because even some of us who have had the hardest lives have accidentally healed from a couple of things, you know? When you understand how healing really works, most of us have healed from things by accident. You know, you didn't realize what you were doing, but you accidentally transmuted the energy and released it. That happens. Every now and then, you'll meet somebody that just never fucking heals from anything that's ever happened to them. Never. Ever. And that's kind of what I'm feeling like here. Kind of what I'm feeling this is. So, okay. Well, then let's just grab the advice. I was just telling Sagittarius that the reason why I read somebody's intentions is so you can decide whether or not you want to excuse shitty behavior. You tell me. Knowing that it's not coming from a bad place, does that excuse it? That's up to you as an individual. Everybody sees that differently. Let's get the advice here. Let's get the advice. Knight of Cups reversed. Ooh, don't extend or accept a love offer right away. See. Don't make a decision right away. There's that codependency energy again. Don't make a decision right away. Take the time to see where this person is energetically. Okay? Because if you ever want to bring anyone from the past back into your life, anyone, I don't care who it is, a former lover, former friend, colleague, family member you fell out with, what's the most important determining factor? Whether or not there has been a change, right? Common sense. Has anything changed? Because if there hasn't been a vibrational change, it's going to repeat the same outcome. So take the time to study this person energetically. And what I mean by that is Pay attention to every aspect of their life that you possibly can. Because of course they're going to lead with their best foot forward coming back. They're going to do everything they can to tell you what you want to hear, show you what you want to see, and all that good stuff. Okay, well, that's cool, but I'm going to watch you in every other aspect of your life. I'm going to pay attention to how you behave and interact and mingle, and I'm going to watch you in all other aspects of your life. I'm going to watch how you treat everyone else. If I still see you treating your friends, your family, the waiter at the restaurant, the goddamn janitor, the same as you was back in the day, you ain't changed nothing. When you make a genuine vibrational change, your whole outlook on everything changes. You completely change the lens through which you view the world. You know, you don't behave the same in any aspect of your life. I'm not saying that there will be a drastic change, but there will be a change in every aspect of your life. Some major, some minor, but you'll be able to notice a difference. Whether it's a huge difference or just a little difference, you'll be able to see a change in every aspect of life. That gets really nuanced and complex when we start diving into that territory. So I'm not getting into all that right now, but yeah, don't make a decision right away. I wouldn't do that. And I'll tell you this much too. This person is not your divine life partner. I'll tell you that much. I don't know if you care or not. Some people do, some people don't. But I do think that successfully releasing the vibrational weight of this person in this situation will put you very close to meeting that person. Very close. Very close. So take that information and do with it what you will. All right, let's see what's happening with the singles and your love interest. Single Capricorn. Single Cappies and the person that you're interested in. What's happening? Five of Swords reversed. Oh, Ace of Cups. New start in love. Okie dokie, though. Two of Cups reversed. What the hell's going on there? Eight of Cups reversed. What the fuck? This is the most confusing ass spread that I have pulled in months. Got the damn codependency card again. I don't feel like talking about that shit today, man. I really don't. I don't feel like talking about that. Anyway, though, there's somebody's bringing some emotional codependency energy into the relationship. And again, codependency doesn't mean clingy. That is one of the ways that energy typically tends to express itself, but that's not, clinginess isn't intrinsically indicative of codependency, and vice versa. But yeah, that energy is here. What is this? The only thing I can think this is some kind of past energy. Eight of Cups reversed, Five of Pentacles reversed. Because we got that Three of Cups reversed and Two of Cups reversed right next to each other. There's got to be some past person energy in here. Like maybe there's some jealous, salty ex, you know, wanting to sabotage this with the Five of Swords. That's kind of what that's starting to feel like. Well, some of you dealing with a Pisces. That would be a good energetic connection, by the way. That would be a very decent energetic connection. One thing that's always a bummer. See, when I do my personal readings, 95% of the time, the energetic pairings that I see come through my readings are complete and total mismatches. But every now and then, somebody will come and they'll have an energetic pairing that, man, if y'all were utilizing your energies, you know, as good as you could together as a team, y'all could move motherfucking mountains together, you know? It's crazy. Like Taurus and Pisces, or Aries and Gemini, or Libra and Leo, Aquarius and Sagittarius, Cancer and Virgo. And it's always a bummer when you see really decent energetic combinations like that coming together. Capricorn and Pisces. And then when you see an energetic connection with that much potential and it's going down the drain, that's a bummer, dude. It's a bummer. Let's see this person's feelings, energies, and intentions. Emperor. Yeah, there's definitely some past person energy in here. Definitely. It kind of feels to me like this person, I don't know, man. It's hard to say because you got the Tower reversed. That's reconciliation energy. But then you got the Ace of Wands. That's a new, fresh start. But then you got the Empress reversed, which is not wanting to settle down. But then you got the Emperor in the upright, which is wanting to settle down. I think this person just doesn't really know. You know, I think they're just not really sure, weighing out the pros and cons. And I think this person's just, we'll see what happens type of energy, you know? We'll see what happens. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't type energy. And that's not the greatest energy to enter into a connection with, really. I mean, if that's the only energy that you're carrying into a connection, that's risky. That's like walking a tightrope with a fucking blindfold on, you know, in a windstorm. That's risky. That's extremely risky. So, I don't have anything bad to say about them. Well, intentions-wise, I don't think that they're playing games, lying, manipulating, nothing like that. I wouldn't say that. Let's see how it plays out. How's it playing out for the next 60 days? Page of Wands reversed. Page of Cups, 3 of Wands, 7 of Cups. At the fucking codependency card. I'm so sick of seeing that. Well, I'll say this. I'm feeling like there is a pretty strong feeling of doubt, a lot of insecurities, and a lot of fear in this connection here. And that is triggering defenses. You know, so I'm not really seeing this crashing and burning in 60 days, but I'm seeing it. It's like you stuck a balloon on a helium tank and cracked the valve and walked away, is what this is like. Eventually, it's going to blow at some point if this continues. But this looks like a slow rolling. It's rolling slowly downhill, you know? So let's grab the advice. What's the advice? Devil card reversed. Don't let a connection turn into a sex-based connection. Meaning, make sure you're connecting at a deeper level than that. Tower card. 10 of Cups reversed. Be sure that you're connecting at as deep of a level as possible. Now, I'm not saying make the connection happen. That's not what I'm saying. It's not hard to take control of the situation and attempt to make sure that a connection goes deeper. It's not hard to do that. You know, you don't want to let it turn into a sex-based connection. You can take control of the situation and make sure that things happen in such a way that, you know, if we were both really giving this our all, we could connect at a deeper level. But like I said, the problem is I feel like the person you're dealing with is bringing a lot of codependency energy into this situation. Codependency means I need a relationship or a connection or a sex partner to fill the empty void in my heart, to be my solution, the solution to my sadness. I need a relationship to make me happy, you know? That's basically what codependency means. I need you to make me happy. I'm not happy without you. I don't feel good about myself unless you make me feel good about myself. I feel empty unless you make me feel fulfilled. That's codependency, basically. And yeah, I don't work like that. It don't work like that. That doesn't mean relationships aren't important. What it means is relationships aren't the answer to your brokenness and your loneliness. You know, it's not the answer to your emptiness. And when we look to sex connections and relationships to create our happiness for us, well, you know what it creates? It creates a vibrational representation of the energy that you bring to the table. So if you bring brokenness and emptiness to the table, brokenness and emptiness is what will eventually end up manifesting. It might not be right away. It might not be right away. Oh, in the beginning, it's invigorating in the beginning. You know, when the relationship is still new, you know, when the two of you don't know each other very well and it's still fresh. Oh, it's invigorating and it's explosive at first. But after a while, that starts wearing off. And it wears off and it wears off and it wears off and it wears off. And then eventually that feeling is gone. That explosive, invigorating feeling is completely gone. Then the question is, what are you left with after that feeling is gone? That's the question. It depends on how deeply you connected. If you were counting on nothing but that explosive, invigorating feeling, which is what codependent people do, that means you never connected at a deeper level than that. So by the time that feeling is gone, there is nothing there. There's nothing at all. There is no connection. That's when the energy that you brought to the table is now in the forefront. That's when emptiness and brokenness is in the forefront. Once that high, that invigorating explosion of emotions that you get when you first connect with somebody, that's what's left whenever that feeling goes away. So that's why you want to make sure. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that feeling. It's amazing. We all love that invigorating feeling that you get when you first meet somebody. What I'm saying is that's not the answer. That feeling is very short-lived and very temporary. It's not going to be around forever. Don't let that feeling pull the wool over your eyes. Don't ever think that that feeling is going to last forever. Be sure that aside from that feeling, again, I'm not saying push that feeling to the side. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying don't let it distract you. Because if you let it distract you and you're not figuring out how to connect and all you're doing is basking in the ecstasy of how that feeling makes you feel better about yourself and how you're not thinking about any of your problems, you're basically using that person like a drug. Well, eventually you're going to build a tolerance to that. And then what's left? That's why you want to make sure you're connecting at the deepest level possible in the beginning. You know, you don't want it to turn into a sex-based connection. Because after a while, that feeling goes away. So, yeah, just be careful with this. Be careful with it. Don't let it turn into a sex-based connection. Don't let it turn into a codependency attachment. And there could be potential here. Okay? All right. Well, I feel like those were the messages that my Capricorn family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is all down here in the description, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.